Okay, how did I get started in this wild world of patenting my inventions? Watch this video and you are going to absolutely be amazed. Okay, everybody, I need to tell my story because I think it's so important for you to realize my perspective on patenting inventions. I used to come up with a lot of ideas in the novelty gift industry and in the toy industry, and I reached out to a lot of companies and I was able to license a lot of those ideas without any intellectual property, without patents. And finally, I come up with this really big idea, and I feel the same way you do. What do I do next? I better patent it, someone's going to steal it. I sent a prototype to McNeil, showing them how to use my rotating label, and James is going to show you up here on the screen in a minute. And the first thing out of this guy's mouth when I called him, he said, "Do you have a patent on that?" That's when I panicked. That's when I was like, what do I know about patents? And I was a little confused. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I needed a patent. So I went ahead and a very good patent attorney was referred to me, and I started working with that patent attorney, and I ended up filing 2 patents on my invention. I have a big idea. I'm really excited. We did a prior art search, and they didn't find anything like it. And I'm like, I finally am an inventor. I was so excited about it. So I worked with my patent attorney. We filed 2 patents, and the next thing you know, I'm in Procter & Gamble. I'm in Cincinnati. The president and CEO saw my idea, called me, said, "Come on out and show my technical group your great packaging innovation spinformation." I was so excited. I brought my wife. She was vice president of marketing for Gallo Winery. I had a manufacturer there that knew how to make my rotating label. And before this big presentation, the gentleman that invited me or was there to host me took me out to lunch. And I remember having lunch and walking across the grass and the sun is shining. I'm feeling like $1 million. And he said, and I said to him, I thanked him for lunch before the meeting. And he said, "Steve, remember one thing. There's no such thing as a free lunch." And my wife kind of looked at me because she knew I was dealing with this monster company, Procter & Gamble. So we get into the meeting, and I'm really excited about it, but I remember walking down the hallway to get to this room in the technical building at Procter & Gamble in Cincinnati. They have patents and patents and patents and patents. They had all these patents. And they're there to kind of intimidate you about, all their intellectual property, all their inventions. So we finally get to this room, and sure enough, there are teams there. They have some marketing, engineering, and I'm up there doing a presentation and everything else, and no one's smiling. And I could feel something was wrong. And sure enough, the guy that I went out to lunch with slid a piece of paper across the table, and there were numbers on it. I wasn't quite sure what this meant. And he stood up and said, "Mr. Key, we're not going to pay you 1 penny for your idea." And they all got up and they walked out the door. I was a little taken back, a little surprised. My wife looked at me like, "I told you so." And sure enough, when I got back home, I sent that paper they sent to me, and I sent it over to my patent attorneys, and they said, "Steve, I'm really sorry to tell you that your idea isn't new. It's been invented before." "What do you mean?" "We did a prior art search. It's not on the market, and no one found it. I'm the inventor. You told me." "Well, it was like a leaf on a tree. They did not find it, unfortunately." So Procter & Gamble told me, forget it. I think my patent attorney, they were telling me, "Steve, what are you going to do now?" kind of. And so I didn't know what to do. I knew I had a good idea, though, but for some reason, these prior patents was probably going to stop me. Well, it took a little bit of time. And I finally realized, wait a minute here. If it's such a good idea, if the president of Procter & Gamble is calling me, something's going on here. So I looked at the patents. I read them. There was 2. I read them very closely, and I realized very, very quickly there was something missing. And sure enough, there was no method of manufacturing. They didn't know how to make it. It was a simple application. So I started to learn how to manufacture my rotating label. Okay, so fast forward. All the patents behind me are on that product that was, or that invention that was patented. Those are my patents on the same thing, but how to use it and how to manufacture it. We started selling my label. Alex Trebek was the spokesperson. James is going to put that up there.
Sundown Herbals presents its remarkable Twist and Learn label. It works like an herbal information center that helps you learn about herbs simply by turning the label. Sundown's new Twist and Learn label, where to turn for help.
It was in Walmart. We'll show you pictures of that as well. I won awards. We were selling millions, hundreds of millions of labels because I didn't let it stop me. I learned a lot about intellectual property. I learned a lot about how to protect ideas and how to find those little things that maybe most people are missing. Why? Because I'm looking at it from a business perspective. There it is. It's very, very different. I'm looking at it not from a legal perspective. I'm looking at how to make money from my patents perspective. And that's what I'm going to teach you and show you on this channel. So long story short, it was a great experience. Yes, it broke my heart. But they gave me the keys to the kingdom because once they showed me the prior art, I was able to design around it. There you go. So I've learned a lot about intellectual property with that example at Procter & Gamble. And of course, I have all these patents behind me. I'm going to tell more of this story a little bit later. But that's why I'm fascinated by how to create patents that have value, how to create patents that you can license to companies, and how can you deal with these really big companies if you really understand some of the things that you can do to play the biggest game in the world with your intellectual property, with your patents. But you have to be knowledgeable, and I'm going to provide that knowledge, everything I've learned over, 25 years to you on this new channel. So thanks for watching. This is Stephen Key. If you have any more questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me, Stephen at patentyourinventions.com. And here's my channel up here. And if you want to watch more videos, please click here.